Hello, everyone. Welcome to the One Story channel. In the previous episode, we explored the financial classic Rich Dad, Poor Dad, diving into financial literacy. Today, we'll share more about author Robert Kiyosaki's personal journey to wealth and his views on the impending economic crisis. This content is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, but we hope it offers a new perspective on economic issues and valuable financial insights. In 2011, Robert made the greatest fortune of his life as mortgage-backed securities, MBS, and collateralized debt obligations, CDOs, collapsed and the real estate market crashed. He invested around $300 million to purchase prime real estate across the Southwest. I hear a lot of young people saying the same thing. This time it's different, Robert explains. I also own some Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I hear them saying Bitcoin won't crash. The Federal Reserve. I can't believe people say, don't fight the Federal. But can the Fed print oil, gas, or food? People have been brainwashed by Wall Street to obey the Fed's instructions. It's absurd. And now Powell's channeling Volcker, thinking he can control inflation by raising rates. Why would you listen to them? His thoughts are truly thought-provoking. The problem, however, is that when Volcker controlled inflation, the U.S. debt-to-GDP ratio was 30%. Now, it's 125%, if you believe the numbers. History shows there has never been a soft landing, it's just Fed talk. Robert claims he's earned more in the last 3 years than in his entire life. Today, he wants to discuss alternative investment views. Trusting Powell to save you is a mistake. The reverse repo market is running at $2 trillion a day, and people still listen to Powell. Unbelievable. I own no stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or ETFs. I don't touch paper assets, Robert says. I'm not saying you shouldn't invest, but people are brainwashed by the Fed and Treasury into thinking, go to school, get a job, pay taxes, get a high-paying job, and invest for the long term in a diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. Is Robert talking about you? We're all educated this way, so it's normal to think like this. But perhaps Robert's unique perspective is why he's been able to rise above and become wealthy. In 1974, after 2 tours as a Marine Corps helicopter pilot in Vietnam, Robert was shocked to see his generation, the baby boomers, being funneled into the stock market with little financial knowledge. That year, many teachers quit to become financial planners, a fact Robert found disturbing. Today, the baby boomers rely on a rising stock market for their 401 Burmese chots, while Social Security faces insolvency. Do you think this is a coincidence? Robert reflects. How could we be this foolish? We went to school and did as told. Don't fight the Fed, follow the Fed, invest in a long-term, diversified portfolio. Now Powell is channeling Volcker, and the debt-to-GDP ratio is 120%. When rates dropped, Robert bought apartment buildings, and today he owns 13,000 apartment units. Every rate cut increases these assets' value as he improves the properties and refinances them. Today, he owes no money on his properties, and all 13,000 units generate steady cash flow. During bull markets, even idiots can feel smart. Robert hears people say that after the 2011 crash, the market rebounded because of issues in the repo market, where Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns faced credit problems. When the market recovered, the Fed started printing more money to support a bad economy that was already collapsing in 2011. Today, we're paying the price. Robert chose to buy properties with cash flow, refinancing as rates dropped. Unlike house flippers, who face tax consequences with every sale, Robert doesn't have this problem. He refinances instead of selling, earning tax-free income. Robert doesn't invest in oil stocks, he invests in oil itself. He knows that opportunities are more abundant than ever, but if you're brainwashed to think, go to school, get a job, pay taxes, live debt-free, and invest in the stock market is the only way, you're mistaken. This bubble is larger than in 2008. It's an everything bubble encompassing stocks, bonds, and credit. Robert invests in tangible assets, real estate, oil, and precious metals, because these hold value during crises. Market cycles give him chances to invest while others panic, leading to massive returns. Robert says, "Be mindful of whom you listen to because your greatest asset and liability are the ideas in your head. Be careful who implants them. Today's opportunities are abundant, but only if you're clear-eyed." Most people have been indoctrinated to think success requires following the system. This starts in school. Go to school, get a good job, live debt-free, invest in the stock market. But the stock market is just a massive bubble, and when it bursts, the biggest losers will be those blindly following traditional investment advice. The upcoming crisis will be a total collapse, affecting stocks, bonds, and credit markets, which will have even greater impacts than 2008. But Robert sees bigger opportunities. True wealth comes from thinking independently and making sound judgments, not from following the crowd. Stay alert and don't be misled by market appearances. Real investors see opportunities amid market panic, while others simply follow the herd. Many have been brainwashed by Fed and Wall Street experts into believing that long-term holdings in stocks and bonds are safe, but this mindset may lead to significant losses in an economic collapse. The current economy is full of opportunities, provided you know how to profit during a crisis. This bubble economy will eventually burst, and the savvy are waiting for this moment. Stocks, bonds, and even the real estate market will collapse, transferring wealth to those prepared. Robert advises against blindly relying on conventional investment strategies. Instead, learn how to capitalize on crises. Economic cycles are constant, and markets rise and fall. The most successful investors are those who stay calm during others' fear and seize opportunities. So, the question is, are you ready? Before the 2025 crisis hits, do you have the knowledge and skills to identify and seize opportunities? This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's about long-term financial planning. Wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. Robert has spent decades building his investment system, from real estate to oil wells and precious metals, each asset thoughtfully chosen. Robert warns against waiting for government aid or a soft landing from the Fed. These institutions don't share common people's interests. Their decisions don't consider the average investor's needs. You must learn to think independently, find your own investment approach, and not rely solely on external support. The future holds many opportunities, but only those prepared and with a steady mindset will capture them. Don't wait until the crisis unfolds to take action. Start learning and practicing now. Every market fluctuation is a chance to redistribute wealth, and those who make wise decisions during crises will emerge as the ultimate winners.